video, my team and I will talk about safety and health awareness during cycling and hiking. As you know, many of the country was affected by COVID-19, including our country, but it is not meaning that we should neglect the health of our body by not doing outdoor or indoor sports activities. I think every one of us want to be a healthy person, including you and me. Am I right? And do you want to know that cycling and hiking is one of the famous activity that almost people do, especially during this pandemic, and it is just like a trend for nowadays? So, do you know what the meaning of cycling and hiking?
Meaning of cycling is when the using of the bicycles as a transport or as an exercise or sport. And most of the people doing the cycling activities at the park and on the roadside highway. Sometimes cycling activity is performed by individually or group. Meaning of hiking is an activity of moderate difficulty which involves walking across long distances, generally on trails or paths. Usually, hiking is performed by individually or group. Practicing a healthy lifestyle with sports or activities like cycling and hiking is one of the things that should be implemented. But at the same time, most of them always forget to put their safety first by follow all the guidelines or rules when they are doing the activities. Instead, some of them getting injured during their doing cycling or hiking.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good day everyone. Safety while doing an exercise. As we already know, now we can see on social media like Instagram, Twitter and so on, there are so many people who are starting to do cycling and hiking activities to fill their free time during the COVID-19 pandemic. So now, I'm gonna share to you guys why the safety is important while doing those exercises. Safety while doing the hiking is to avoid your physical injuries, such as sprains in the ankle because of the falling while climbing. In addition, is to aim to prevent blister to fit due to the hard pressure in the shoes. Next is to prevent a muscle cramp due to not warming up before starting the climb. Lastly is to avoid sunburn on the skin due to exposed to very hot weather without wearing a sunscreen. Next, I will explain why safety while doing cycling is important. One of the reasons is to avoid head injuries due to not wearing a safety helmet while riding a bicycle. In addition, it is to avoid injury to the leg because of not wearing a knee protector and not warming up before starting cycling. Lastly, it is to avoid accident with other vehicles because not using the safety light while cycling at night. And that's all from me. Thank you. We will continue to describe in more detail the injuries that are often encountered while performing following activities.
Next, I want to talk about the example injuries of exercise such as hiking. Do you know what is injury? Injury is the accident or acts of aggression can result in injuries which can happen at home, at work, or at play. They can be caused by blunt things striking the body or by objects entering the body. For example, abrasions, lacerations, hematomas, broken bones, joints dislocation, sprains, strains, and burns are all common sorts of injuries. There are 5 common hiking injuries that we should know, which are blisters, twisted or sprained ankle, knee pain and joint inflammation, sunburn, and the last one is temperature-related illness. Do you know what is the blister? Blisters are unfortunate aspect of trekking since we have all experienced them at some point in our lives. Friction causes fluid to boil and swell between irritated layers of skin resulted in blisters. Blisters, which are usually considered A minor injury can get infected if left untreated or incorrectly managed. The second one is the twisted or sprained ankle. A sprained ankle is caused by rolling, twisting, or turning your ankle in an unusual manner. The tight bands of tissue or ligaments that keep your ankle bones together might be stretched or torn as a result of this. Depending on the way you choose to trek, you may meet a variety of potential hazards, such as slippery surface, uneven terrain, pebbles, or other hiding obstructions, which may increase your risk of a twisted or sprained ankle. Next, knee pain and joint inflammation also is one of the common hiking injury. Some hikers are more prone to knee pain than others. Between the tibia and the femur, there is a maximum pressure of 7 until 8 times your body weight. Hiking uphill or on flat ground is one thing, but hiking downhill puts your knees under a great deal of strain. One of the most prevalent injuries suffered by hikers is sunburn, which should be a no-brainer for anyone who spends time outside. Skin that has been sunburned moderately might become red, puffy, and hot to the touch. It can take up to a week for the wound to heal fully. Severe sunburns can result in severe blistering or very red skin, and recovery can take up to 2 weeks. The last one is the temperature-related illness. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and hypothermia are the most common hiking injuries. It's critical to understand the signs and symptoms of each. Heat exhaustion can leave you feeling tired, ill, and disoriented, but rest, food, and fluids can help you feel better. Heat stroke, on the other hand, is a potentially dangerous condition that can lead to confusion, delirium, and even death. As you may be aware, hypothermia can be an issue even in the summer. As with heat stroke, this occurs when your body's core temperature goes below normal. It can lead to impaired judgment, confusion, loss of consciousness, and even death. Alright, that's all from me, and thank you.
In this part, I will explain about the examples of cycling injuries. The first one is knee pain. In cycling, the knee is the most common site for overuse injuries. Some of the most frequent knee overuse injuries are patellofemoral syndrome, patella, quadricep tendonitis, medial precal syndrome, and iliotibial band friction syndrome. The first 4 injuries cause discomfort around the kneecap, whereas the last one causes pain in the outer knee. Second is head injuries. A head injury, which can range from a cut on the face to traumatic brain injury, is one of the most prevalent injuries encountered by cyclists. The third one is neck or back pain. When cyclists stay in one riding posture for too long, they are prone to have neck and back pain. Injuries may also occur as a result of poor form. In addition, cyclists may have to round their backs if the handlebars are too lower, inflicting strain on the neck and back. Cyclists with tight hamstring or hip flexor muscle may round or arch their backs, causing the neck to hyperextend. Fourth, wrist or forearm pain or numbness. Cyclists should keep their elbows slightly bent when riding, which is never with their arms locked or straight. Bent elbows will function as shock absorbers when they hit bumps in the road. Cyclist palsy and carpal tunnel syndrome are 2 frequent with overuse injuries. Next, urogenital problems. Pudendal neuropathy, a numbness or discomfort in the genital or rectal area, is a typical complaint among the male cyclists who spend a lot of time riding. Compression of the blood flow to the genital area is the most common reason. Last but not least is foot numbness and tingling. Numbness and tingling of the feet are typical symptoms, and shoes that are overly tight or narrow are frequently the reason. Additionally, adjacent compartment syndrome, might cause foot numbness. This is caused by increased pressure in the lower leg, which compresses nerve.
Next, I will talk about safety and precautions while doing the exercise. So, safety and precaution is an action that is done to prevent something unpleasant or dangerous happening while doing some activity. So, the activity that I stated is divided by two. First, safety and precaution while cycling. As you can see, installing the cleat in the correct position can help prevent some excessive injuries such as knee pain. Next, for head injuries, the best way to prevent it is by wearing a helmet because it can reduce the risk of head injuries by 85%. Next, for neck and back pain problems, activities such as stretching the muscle before cycling will be able to create flexibility and make it easier to maintain a healthy spine while avoiding neck and back pain. Next, for wrist pain or numbness, it can be avoided by wearing a padded glove because it can decrease the pressure on hand. Next, for urogenital problems, among the ways that can help relieve stress is by changing the seat to a wider one. You also can changing the tilt of the seat or using special shorts for cycling. So last but not least, for problems such as numbness of the feet, it can be reduced by not wearing too tight shoes. So next, we are moving to safety and precautions while hiking. One of the problems when you are hiking is the blister. The best way to prevent blister is to wear socks and shoes that are appropriate for the ground conditions. However, if they break, you can cover the affected area with a band-aid or plaster. Next, you have to choose the right shoes because choosing the right shoes that offer ankle protection can help prevent injuries such as twisted and sprained ankles. Next, you also can use trekking pole and wearing knee brace to avoid knee pain while climbing. Next, for protection from sunburn, you should wear sunblock to avoid direct sun exposure to the skin. And you also can wear clothing that made of UPF rated fabric. Last but not least, if you plan to hike in the days before and during your climb, make sure you drink plenty of water. You also should avoid consuming alcohol and caffeine to prevent from temperature-related illness.
In conclusion, as a cyclist and mountain climber, we must be careful and ensure safety while doing the activity to avoid any unintended incidents. Examples of injuries that can happen to mountain climbers are blister, twisted or sprained ankles, knee pain and joint inflammation, sunburn and temperature-related illnesses. In addition, cyclists need to pay attention to safety while riding a bicycle to avoid injuries such as knee pain, head injuries, neck or back pain, wrist and forearm pain or numbness, urogenital numbness and foot numbness or tingling. Lastly, mountain climbers and cyclists should use the stated safety measures to avoid any possible injuries that may occur. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.